Just a few days ago, the Olympics' apparent mockery of Christianity was met with near universal condemnation from both Christians and non-Christians alike. It seemed like almost everyone, no matter what they believed, were coming to the defense of Christianity and said that the mocking of the Last Supper of Christ was wrong and that they were fully against it. But now, it seems that that sentiment has changed on social media. Several non-Christians and even a lot of Christians are now saying that not only did the Olympic opening ceremony have nothing whatsoever to do with Christianity or the Last Supper, but Christians get worked up too easy, are too sensitive, and have a persecution complex. This change of heart started once the Olympic organizers and the artistic director claimed that all of this was one big misunderstanding. They claimed that this scene, with all of the people at the table, was not actually a reenactment of the Last Supper, despite its resemblance, but instead it was just a depiction of the Greek god Dionysus, and the setting was merely an ancient festival meant to honor him. So once this narrative started to make its rounds on social media, several people started to claim that Christians were wrong in their outrage and were suffering from a mere persecution complex. But others took the statement from the Olympics to be gaslighting, and they did so for lots of reasons. According to Jonathan Pajot,
this is actually one of the funniest things about this event, is all these people and a lot of Christians going online saying, it's actually not the Last Supper. You know, it's the Feast of Dionysus. Why are all the Christians getting so annoyed? You know, I am educated. I understand that this is the Feast of Dionysus. The capacity of people to easily accept gaslighting is hilarious. The scene is clearly referencing the Last Supper. The name of the tableau was a wordplay in French, which is something like, basically if you translate it into English, it means the scene of the Last Supper on the Seine River. Because in French, one of the words for the Last Supper is la Seine. And so la Seine de la Seine sur la Seine, right? And so the name of the tableau was referencing the Last Supper. The head of the event said that he was referencing the Last Supper. The main person in the middle, the DJ, she posted on Instagram saying that it was the New Gay Testament. She deleted, of course, the post later and changed it by saying, no, it is Dionysus. And so first of all, clearly it was referencing Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper.
And the post that he was referring to this woman who posted saying, oh yes, the New Gay Testament. So clearly this seems to suggest that even she thought it was a parody of the Last Supper. But what I find so interesting about all of this is that first, we're told that we're cowards for not making a big deal about it and not standing up against the people who are mocking our faith.
Are any Christians at all? Are any of you gonna do anything?
But when we do just that, we're being told that even if the Olympics did intend to mock Christianity, we're too sensitive and shouldn't be making such a big deal out of it because we have a persecution complex. So it seems to me that either way, people are going to complain about how Christians react to stuff. But my point in bringing all of this up is to remind us that we're never going to make some people happy, and also to remind us of the danger of seeking validation from men rather than God. One way we can know if we're getting too much of our validation from men is if we find ourselves getting incredibly upset at the comments that we've been slighted. You have to realize that whenever we get really upset, we're upset because we're trying to protect something. And so the next time you find yourself angry, ask yourself, what is it that you're really trying to protect? When it comes to this situation, are we really upset because we're trying to defend Christ? Or instead, deep down in our hearts, are we really just upset because people aren't validating our beliefs and our experiences of what we take to be mockery and insult? If it's the second, then the problem is ultimately our sense of value. If we find ourselves so upset at these comments that we're becoming reactive, it's in these moments that we can too easily forget that our ultimate sense of value and self-worth does not come from the title of being a Christian, but instead from the person of Christ and who he says that we are. We have to remember that we're infinitely valued and fully secure because Christ said that we are, and he died on the cross in our place to prove it. The more that we can internalize this and believe it deep down in the core of our being, the less reactive that will be in these sorts of situations. We don't have anything to prove on social media because we already know that we're fully accepted and eternally valued by the God of the universe. And this helps us to put into perspective what Paul said when he showed us that we can either choose to please men or choose to be a servant of Christ. Those are the only two options. The more that we grow in being a servant of Christ, the more that we realize that we can be upset, but it won't consume us. And rather than being so consumed with trying to get validation from men, we should only be consumed with pleasing God who tests our hearts. So let's be careful not to fail the test. And if you like this video, I think that you'll like this video as well. So go ahead and click here and I'll see you over there. All right, thanks for watching.